Hello, everyone. My name is Kia, if I haven't had the pleasure of meeting you. I am the associate on the ventures team on real estate and construction. It is really nice to see each and every single one of you here. Thank you very much for joining us. Today, we are presenting to you the graduating class of Batch 3. We're very excited. Our program is growing batch after batch. We have more partners joining. We're growing our ecosystem, more startups, and we're seeing a lot of cool things out there. So, without any further delay, I'd like to introduce my colleague and the director of the program, Miles Tabibian, to join us on the stage. Please give him a warm welcome.
Sir. Cool. Thank you. Thank you, Kia, and good afternoon, everybody. So what I'd like to do today is actually, I want to start off by asking a rhetorical question to the crowd, just to stimulate some thought. So in the not too distant future, with new types of technologies that are coming out and emerging business models, is rent something that real estate owners and operators are even going to have to charge their tenants? Probably thinking, what the hell am I talking about, right? Let me provide some background here. There's a author on commercial real estate. His name is Dror Poleg. Big fan of his work. He's actually a developer. Well, he used to work for some developers in China, and now he acts as a consultant to developers all around the world, also real estate companies. And he recently wrote an article on what the future of real estate could be, especially running some analogies to things like Amazon Web Services. And I want to talk to you about one of the topics that I found quite interesting. So if you think back in history, the pricing model on real estate has been pretty much the same thing. It's a price per square foot. That's kind of been the model, the standard model. And so what you're looking at here is an example of San Francisco pricing, starting back in the late 80s and then moving up to present day. And as you can see, it's risen actually pretty steeply. About 5 years ago, a company came into the stage and they said something like, you know what? We're actually not going to charge price per square foot. We're going to charge price per desk or price per seat. And on top of that, we're actually going to give you about 4 times less space than the industry average and charge you 5 times more. And that company, as you may be familiar with, is WeWork. And I think one of the first questions that I had when I was reading this article is, how are they able to do this? Are they gouging their customers? Are they being sneaky? And I think the reality is, no, actually, that's not the case. The founders of WeWork, what they realized is what they could do is trade space and deliver something else to their customers. And so if you're familiar with WeWork, there's a couple things that they're known for. So what they were able to do is take away the necessity of space that's traditionally been what people have priced WeWork or real estate for, and replace that with things like amazing interior design, a sense of community. So you're not just a person inside of an office, you're part of something bigger. And then also a service layer. This is something that's actually quite popular in real estate these days is, can you take the services of, let's say, a hotel and add that to the office space or even residential? So you think about a hotel, you have things like a concierge, you have room service. Why can't those things be applied to things like to offices or even residential spaces? And so that's something that WeWork kind of pioneered, or at least made very popular. So if you take a step back and you think about it, traditionally, real estate has been a price per square foot, and then WeWork said, okay, let's do that on a price per desk. I think a question you might ask yourself is, okay, well then, what is next? There's actually a coffee shop near Brown University, right outside Rhode Island. And what they're doing is they're piloting a new type of experience for their customers, where customers can actually drink coffee for free inside the building. And instead of paying for that coffee, they have to provide a little bit of information about who they are. So you'll provide your name, your major, what activities that you're interested in. And then while you sip your coffee, you just look at targeted ads. So I want to pause for 1 second and see if that sounds familiar to anyone. you are giving your attention away, and then there's money being made off of that. If you thought Google, Facebook, then you're thinking right. So I'm not saying that this is necessarily where real estate is going, but I think it does pose an interesting question of what the potential future could be. So I'll just ask one more time. Is rent something that tenants are actually going to have to pay in the future, or could they trade something else for that experience? So my name is Miles Tabibian. Like Kia said earlier, I'm the director of the Real Estate and Construction Tech program here at Plug and Play. And I'm going to just jump right into it. I'm going to keep my section quite short. We have some great speakers and startups after me, so I'll just move right into it. But before I start, if you haven't already done this, please take out your badge. Look on the back side of that, and you're going to see our QR code. If you scan that, if you have an iPhone and scan that, this is going to be how you vote for the amazing startups that we have going on today. And this is meaningful for them because it really shows what the crowd is feeling. So I highly recommend, if you haven't done this, please pull out your phones and scan that QR code. So how did we get here today, and what exactly is happening? Is Plug and Play just an events company? So for those of you who are new, today is called our Startup Expo, and this is actually the end of a 3-month program that we run twice a year. So you'll see back in March, we got together with all of our anchor partners, and we figured out, or we asked them, what are your focus areas? What are the challenges that you're facing or areas you want to explore? They told us those, and we invited about 20 to 40 startups to pitch in person in front of them. Those partners collectively selected about 15 startups, or 11 startups around there, that we invited to join our batch. Batch is a 3-month program that we run. During that batch, what we do is we introduce our startups to different corporations, to mentors. We run workshops to help these startups try to grow their business. They may understand what their business is, but we try to help them understand how does the market, what do they think about that, and how can you tailor your message. And so today is the end of that 3-month program where they graduate in an attempt to get funding or new customers. I want to take a quick second to announce we have 2 new partners that joined our program over the past 3 months. And we're going to take a quick second to allow Stanley Black & Decker and Wesco to come to the stage just to say a few words about what they're up to. So without further ado, can we please get a round of applause for Stanley Black & Decker and Wesco, please?
Hi, everyone. My name is Mike Keogh. I'm from Stanley Black & Decker. We decided to join Plug and Play as an anchor partner earlier this year because the access to the startups, we really get a lot of benefit of access to other corporates like ourselves. So I run the innovation group at our company, and we're looking to find ways to make the construction world more productive, as simple as that. So as a company, we're most famous for selling tools, and the customers that we work with, that we sell tools to, live in a world where things are done today like they were done 100 years ago. It's one of the last industries to really be disrupted by technology. So it's an important focus for us, and we're excited about being an anchor partner and seeing this first cohort of companies go through it. I've met a few of you, and we've had some really good conversations. I look forward to meeting others. And that's it. I'll hand it over to you.
Thank you. All I have to say is what you said. So I'm with Wesco. My name is Ben Albu. I lead our corporate business development and corporate strategy practice at Wesco. You're probably not familiar with us. I know Stanley Black & Decker is a name that many of us recognize from our consumer lives. Wesco is a pure play enterprise business-to-business company. We're $8.5 billion in revenues. We're headquartered in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We're primarily North American-centric, and we operate in the construction chain. So that last 100 years, our business processes have unfortunately not changed as much as they need to for the next 100 years. And so we're thrilled to be joining Plug and Play today as a ecosystem member of this practice. I'll also give a shameless plug. We released yesterday along with Plug and Play that we are co-launching a B2B sales and distribution vertical starting this fall. So for your channel partners that you go to market through, and for the rest of you, I look at manufacturers that are in the room, a variety of products. If you're a channel to market, if you're selling to and with trade contractors, if you're helping the chain of construction, we'd love to have you come and join our new practice at Well here at Plug and Play. And I look forward to meeting many of you in the room. And please come up to introduce yourself, and would love to find a way to work with you. So Miles, with that, thank you very much.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Mike. Okay, so I'm just about out of time. I'm going to run through this kind of quickly. 2 quick updates from Plug and Play Ventures, some investments that we've made recently. So one of those is a company called Ask Porter. Ask Porter is an AI machine learning property management and facility management platform. So what does that actually mean in simple terms? Think about, for those of you who have interacted with a Google Home or an Alexa, imagine if you're not in a home that you own, if you're in like a condo, imagine being able to say, hey Google, my fridge stopped working 3 days ago and it seems to be leaking. And then everything else was taken care of on the back end. A repairman came out that matched your calendar. You didn't have to do anything. That's the space that Ask Porter's playing in. And so we co-invested in this startup along with the Google Home or Google Assistant Fund. And then one other startup that we're interested, or actually caught our attention, is a startup called Sapient. So Sapient is a hardware as a service platform that's focusing on plug load management. So plug load meaning anything you plug into the walls. And when most people think about energy in a commercial real estate, they think about HVAC, so heating, ventilation, air conditioning, or lighting, for instance. LED is actually quite popular. But not a lot of people think about plug load. And plug load actually accounts for around 30% of energy usage. So what Sapient does is they use machine learning to try to understand usage of devices in a building over time, and that way, maybe at night when you're not using printers, cell phones, you can actually save money and cut costs this way. So we co-invested in this startup along with UrbanX as well. One thing I'll mention real fast is we are expanding, like Kia alluded to earlier, globally. So last week we launched our Madrid Smart Cities office, and we will be launching our Bangkok office as well at the end of June. So there's Madrid, there's Bangkok, and then in Amsterdam, we work together with ING on an urbanization platform. None of this would be possible without our amazing partners. It's through them we're able to attract the great startups that we are and shape our program to really fulfill their needs. So I just want to say thank you to all of our partners for coming out and supporting us because you guys really help us create an amazing program. And then one other thing I'll say is I am honestly just one person here, but most of the work here gets taken care of by these amazing people behind me, my teammates, both here in Silicon Valley and around the world as well. So I want to say thank you to all of them because I know we have some people visiting from China and Bangkok as well. So thank you to them,